Time then for the Robinhood end of season 4 review, and just look at this. We are in the European Places playoff and potentially just 2 opponents away from a place in the Europa Conference League. Hey, 4 seasons in, we'll take it. But first, let's rewind a couple of months to see how the rest of our maiden Eredivisie season played out. As we moved into the home stretch of the season, the board were delighted with my performance as manager, and relegation just simply wasn't going to happen. So we could play out our remaining fixtures under no pressure at all, starting with Feyenoord. I would be looking to keep those good times rolling, while all the time trying to ignore the intimidating yet strangely alluring eyes of Ronald Koeman from the opposition dugout. After all that build, it was disappointing then to concede quite an early goal and then offer hardly any threat for the remaining 82 minutes. Even more disappointing was our next game against FC22 as we crashed to a 4-1 defeat. It looked like we would return to winning ways against Heracles the next week, but instead we contrived to blow a 2-goal lead and the match finished 3-3. 1 point from 4 games, and suddenly we were more concerned about the teams immediately behind us catching us up than we were with catching the teams just ahead. The month of April was no better, just 1 point again, though we did, to be fair, have a tough run facing AZ Alkmaar and FC Utrecht away, and some measure of hope could be taken from the point we earned, which came against the mighty PSV, with that man Dela Cruz on target in stoppage time with the equaliser. Now that run of only 2 points in 7 games meant we were down to 11th in the table, but with Sparta Rotterdam and FC Groningen as our next 2 opponents, there was a chance for us still to get back in it. And boy, we did exactly that. Dela Cruz was on a mission, slicing open their defence 3 times as he bagged himself a superb hat-trick in a 3-0 win. And it was permanent loan signing Kian Fitzjim who was the hero against Groningen, meaning we leapfrogged both of those teams to go 9th, and with 6th to 9th going into that European place playoff, and our final opponents being FC MN, who just secured survival and therefore had nothing else to play for. Surely we couldn't mess it up now. I mean, surely not. I don't know why I'm trying to build tension here, because you already know from the start of the episode what happened. But anyway, hit that like button if you think we're going to make it to the European Places playoff. And hit that subscribe button, because we did. We may have had a late scare, but with the other results going our way, that point was enough for us to finish 8th and bag almost £5.5 million for doing so. Ka-ching! So back to where we started the episode, a European Places playoff tie against Heracles, a team that we definitely knew we could beat. And beat them we did, with plenty to spare. Mashart, the left back, set things rolling with a stunning strike in the first leg. A Heracles penalty put them back in it. But we came out swinging in the second half as Fitzjim put us back in the lead. Heracles also came out swinging in entirely the wrong way as Quagliata saw red, and that left enough space at the back for Dela Cruz to exploit. Not once but twice late on as we ran out 4-1 winners, and we just about survived in the second leg to make it through to the European Places playoff final. FC Utrecht being all that stood between us and an unlikely early European debut. We had traded 2-1 victories in the regular season, so what do you think? Did we manage it? Just pause the video for a second and drop your prediction down in the comments. The first leg would produce another 2-1 scoreline, but sadly not in our favour. 2 first half goals from Utrecht put them firmly in control of the tie. 2 absolute screamers as well. And although we got a late goal, a glimmer of hope thanks to Fitzjim, would it be enough to write one of the great all-time Football Manager comeback stories in the history of content creation? Short answer, no, it wouldn't. Nothing went our way in that second leg as we lost 3-0, 5-1 on aggregate. But my lord, what a debut season in the top flight. 8th and fighting to the very end. Now, having made quite an impression in our first season up, you might be expecting us to pick up a few awards. And well, you'd be right. Our goalkeeper Estrada was second in the Dutch Goalkeeper of the Year, and Robinhood took a clean sweep of the top positions in the Young Player of the Year award, with Dela Cruz fully deserving after 31 goals in 38 games, which also earned him the Willy van der Keulen Trophy, which I'm assuming is a top scorer award. He even placed second in the European Golden Boot. And what about the manager who had inspired this meteoric rise? You absolute bastards. And in case you're wondering what's going on with the Surinamese national team, well, make sure you're subscribed, because we've got the Gold Cup coming up in the next episode.